Hey, my friend, and welcome to Lesson 8. We are nearing the end of Step 2. Eyes wide open. Are you getting excited? Well, after our last lesson, I am so excited to step into our new story. Are you ready to step into your new story? So, Lesson 8, get out of your head and get into your heart. Get out of your head. That's Lesson 8. Are you ready to join me and move down into that heart space a little more? So here we are with getting out of the head. I know that's a tough one for a lot of people. Believe me, I'm an Aries, so I'm ruled by the head, my astrology chart anyway. And so I got a lot of stuff going in my head a lot of the time. So I get it, and I understand how, our head makes up these stories and it creates all kinds of stuff. And sometimes we forget that, I want to be living from here, not from here. This is great for accounting and when I'm editing my books and, when I got to really figure things out. But so much of what I really need to do is live from here and feel things out. Figure versus feel. Works for me. So let's talk about this. Getting out of your head. What is the fastest way to get out of your head? Well, because I kind of like fastest. If there's a fast way to do it, I want to do it. That's kind of my nature. And so for me, the quickest way is hand on my heart. It's hand on my heart. So try this with me, okay? Just put your hand on your heart for a minute. And as you put your hand on your heart, just close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just take a nice deep breath in and pull your presence towards your heart space. Just a couple nice deep breaths. And what I like to do when I'm really feeling overwhelmed in the head, or I've just got lots of things going on in the head, is as I put my hand on my heart, I ask Spirit to just guide me, to help me to see a greater insight or awareness, to help me to move to a higher vibration, and to help me to get clarity around whatever circumstance or situation it is that I'm so focused on in my head. So take a moment and do that for yourself. Just ask Spirit, just guide me. Allow me to see with clarity what it is I need to see so that I can move forward, so that I can raise higher, rise above, elevate from this circumstance to a greater observation or awareness. And then as I do that, I just listen. Sometimes I grab my journal. And it's as simple as that. Just take a deep breath for me. Open your eyes. So it's as simple as that, just one little thing. It's just one simple thing, but man, can you feel that? Just pulls you from here to here. Quick. That was like 2 or 3 minutes, right? We all got 2 or 3 minutes to make a major difference in your life. So that's one of my favorite ways, because you can do that anywhere. You can even do that in the grocery store with people staring at you. I got a couple other tools that I want to share with you, because Lesson 8 is really about using some of these tools to really stay in this place. But in order to stay in this place, we've got to be aware, our eyes are open, that I got a lot going on up here. So the other thing that works for me, and I don't have to do this as often, but man, it was my saving grace back in the day. Brain dumps. Heard that term, brain dump? You might have heard it. I didn't know that it was as popular of a term as what I've become aware of. A brain dump is when you just write everything out that you're thinking about. I like this best at night when, like, if I can't go to sleep, I keep a notebook and paper in the drawer next to my bed. And when I'm just like full of thoughts or worries, if I've got something really on my mind, and what I do is just write everything out. It could be about your family or your kids or something that's going on in the world or a friend of yours or your finances or whatever it is. Just everything that you're consciously aware of, and just dump it onto that paper. Get it out of your head. And then what I like to do, because anytime you release something, you got to fill something back up. And what I like to do is just lay in bed with my hands on my heart and just breathe that beautiful, loving light in. Sometimes it's white light, sometimes it's pink light, sometimes it's purple. That usually depends on how I'm feeling. Anytime we release something, we always want to replace it with something of a higher vibration. The brain dump, you can do it in the morning, you could do it in the evening, but the power in it is to really just get it all out. Anything that's in your conscious awareness, and then replace it with some good energy. Love the brain dump. So I am going to suggest that you try that. Now, you might not need it today. Maybe you're not in a place where you're feeling like your head's really full. But I'm going to bet sometime, somewhere, at some point, as you're walking through these steps, it's probably going to show up. So the brain dump, again, just give it a shot. See how it works for you. It moves energy so well. I love it. The next one, the next thing that I love to share about is, and I'm doing this for myself. I'm always encouraging people to do this. But this is something I live constantly, is create a new story. Start telling a new story. So if we want to get out of our head and into our heart, our head is usually obsessed about the story that we think is happening right now. Even though we can't see all of the dynamics, we don't know the whole great bigger picture yet. And so we get into what? Worry, concern, fear, sometimes judgment, criticism. Sometimes we go back to, why me, right? And what we want to do is we want to really get into a place of, okay, I got a new story to tell, and I am going to create a new story, and I'm going to tell it. So we want to empower ourselves by really tuning into that heart space and creating a new story. So what I'd love for you to do is I'd love for you to create a new story. What might your story be? What might it look like? And maybe you're not going to take your whole entire life to create it. Maybe it's just one area of your life that you're really struggling with. And I want you to start telling a new story. I don't want to hear the old story anymore. I don't give a shit about the old story. The old story is history. We've already talked about that. History, his story. Done, done, done. Let's talk about your story. Let's talk about creating the story. So you're sharing it with people, you're writing it out. I'd love for you to write it here and share it with us. What's your new story? What I want to remind you of as you're creating your new story and the areas that you feel guided to. One thing that's important is to remember that sometimes we have people in our lives that can't support our new story. And I know you probably already know that. And if you have someone in your life like that, then I probably don't need to remind you. But what I want to remind you of is if you have someone in your life that cannot support your new story, don't share it with them. A lot of times what we do is we tend to sabotage ourselves by sharing our new story, our excitement with someone that can't hear it, that can't see it, that's threatened by it. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is just setting yourself up to be right. And I would rather you choose to be aware and to be happy than to be right. So you find people around you that can support your new story. And if you don't have anybody, you know what? You got me. And you have this beautiful, amazing community. So you share your story with us if you don't have somebody in your life that you can share it with, because we want to hear it, and we can support you, and we can cheerlead you. And we can give you those kudos, that good job, and share that excitement, because you deserve to hear that. So as we wrap up step 2 and we move out of lesson 8, what I really want you to get is, guys, there's lots happening in this world, right? A lot of it, we've really got to look within, and we've got to look beyond to see clearly. You got to keep your eyes open. You got to stay present and stay aware, right? We really, really need to be in that place of presence, to be in that place of awareness, so that we can raise the vibe. And as we're raising that vibe, and we're recognizing that the things that are happening for a reason, and we know that, you know, when there's struggles and challenges, it's not about us. When we're getting out of that victim mentality, when we're moving into a place where we're starting to feel empowered. And as we're wrapping up step 2, that's where we're going, my friends. So as you're starting to feel empowered, guess what? Now it's time for you to make some choices. So as we move into step 3, choices. I'm excited to see you there, because man, this is where it really gets exciting.